actual commentary on Irish men. Well, none of us are pure, let's be completely honest about that. But we are all fierce hairy. From an Irish man. For you. No. I woke up. I developed a friend for the other one. What is this? A hostel for spots. I guess to an extent, that's probably true. So today, I was walking past a house on the way to uni, and it smelled like cheese string. And I thought, do you know what would be a good thing to talk about? Feelings and saying things without realising that people and things around us have feelings. We all have those, apparently. I was walking not so long ago. These two men were sitting down having a coffee, minding their own business for once, which is lovely. And I had a miserable face. I did have a miserable face that day. I was very miserable. I walk around with a smile for most of the time. That day, I was miserable, and I felt like I was miserable. He turns to me and he says, "Smile for the camera, love." And I thought, what? He says, "Oh, don't crack a mirror with that smile." And I thought, what? And I sort of carried on after flashing him a glare, and I thought, what? So I continued my journey, still thinking, what? And I came to a standstill, nearly crossing a road. The cars were a bit confused, I was a bit confused. Do I cross the road or don't I cross the road? I was contemplating life at that point. I didn't want to cross the road, I just wanted to stand at the road. I thought, what? If I'm not smiling, that means I don't want to smile. I have chosen, subconsciously, not to smile. I mean, maybe I haven't chosen subconsciously not to smile. What if, right, in a crazy world where things happen, maybe I didn't choose not to smile. Maybe someone chose for me that day I would not be smiling. Maybe they thought, that girl is a pain in the arse today. I'm going to make her not smile. See where I'm going with this? Feelings. And I thought, I wouldn't say to a lady who's just put her cigarette out, "Oh, smoke for the camera." No, she's not smoking now. For a reason. Her cigarette has ended. I'm not smiling because my happiness has ended. It's been put in a briefcase, shoved along to Monsters Incorporated, and I'll unlock it when I get home and bang it on the DVD player. And after that, I got thinking more. I know, right? Damage. Collateral. The other day, I was walking down the street. I saw a man and he looked really sad. And I said to him, "Are you alright?" And he said, "Not really. I'm looking for 40p. So I gave him £1.50. His beer breath said, "Danger." But his inviting eyes said, "Please." So I gave him £1.50. But why I did that, right? Some people might argue that that the money that you might give a homeless person or a person of that kind of nature is going to go straight on drugs or alcohol. Do you know that? No, you don't. That's your assumption, like the trouser talk that we had, yeah? What you don't know is that someone might have given them a beer, yeah? And they might be finished with their beer today. Maybe that's the only thing they wake up to. Maybe they don't want a McDonald's breakfast. Maybe they just want a cold can of beer. Can understand. But by your assumption, you've gone, "You're not having any of my money because I've worked really hard for it. And frankly, you're going to spend it on alcohol or drugs." Fair enough. You have worked for your money. Maybe he can't get a job because he doesn't have an address. What about that? And if you don't want to give him the money, why don't you offer him a sausage roll? Or a warm drink, suspended coffees. Let's not get into the price of coffee. Don't talk to Kay, she might explode. I went to uni the other day, and I sat there in this meeting, and we're just getting shot down for everything we said. We haven't started a new unit because it's nearly Christmas, but we have started a new unit because when we come to the table with nothing, he's quite angry about that. Ooh, you tell me. We're bringing all these ideas, and frankly, I think anyone with an idea right now, damn good. Round of applause. Got no ideas myself. Just sitting there, listening, hoping for the best. They've all got potential. That's good. Isn't it? That's a good thing when you embark upon an adventure and it's got potential. You never see Bilbo Baggins turn down an adventure with potential. I couldn't help but think to myself, every time we got shot down, feelings. Mr. Lecturer Man, feelings. And I said to him, I want to make a video where we spread a bit of positivity. He says, not plausible. And I said, Soul Pancake. And he said, who? Ugh, you know, he says enough. He wasn't interested in spreading positivity. I say spread it harder than the STIs on Prince of Wales Street in Norwich. If you don't know about that, Google it. It doesn't feature in the tourist brochures. If you've got something that doesn't feature in the tourist brochures, you know there's a problem. Here's an idea, right? Just to throw it in the mix, okay? Imagine we're making a cake and your nan's gone, what about we make it chocolate? And we've gone, why not? My nan's always like that. If he'd have sort of shot us down, but then comforted us with a nice pillow and blanket and tucked us into bed on the floor, maybe it wouldn't be such an issue. But what I'm asking for, right, is every time that you approach someone, think about the cheese string house, yeah? Bloody hell, this house smells like cheese string. They might feel a bit sad by that because they might have bought all the incense sticks in the world. Oh, my bloody house smells like cheese string. Or bang on the air freshener or the £5 candles. All burning money, hypothetically. They might have done all they can to not make their house smell like cheese string, and I've just gone along and trampled on their hopes and dreams and said, your house smells like cheese string. What are you going to do about it? He's come along and said, your idea's a cheese string. Now get back to the drawing board and come back next week with better. I didn't even come here with anything in the first place, or anything I come back with better than that. What I'm saying, right, is that if you see someone who's not smiling, they probably didn't choose not to smile. They were probably forced not to smile by someone else. Kermit Frog on a bad day. Does he smile? We don't know. But what if he doesn't smile with his normal face? Sometimes my normal face is a grimace, and I look really, gnarly with a capital G. Or they're just miserable sods. But what if, instead of saying, way, smile for the camera, love, cheer up, Charlie, what if we actually gave a crap and said, I hope you're okay, mate, don't know you, but have a good day. Oh, you fixed the smile, you haven't got a glare, you've got a smile, what you wanted in the first place. But remember, you gotta be polite about being rude. If you're not polite about being rude and blunt and to the point and getting your point across, you'll end up with the whole, who the hell are you to tell me anything? Because a student teaching teachers is presumptuous and rude. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 19-something. Ooh, nostalgia. Here's a question. Which one do you prefer? The old Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or the new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Both got different names though. At the end of the day, I don't really blame Augustus Gloop. If I saw a chocolate river, I'd jump straight in. Not always a fan of chocolate, but I'd still jump in it. I've been Kay. Hopefully you've been a bit nice to someone today. If not, tomorrow, be really nice to someone. Make their day. If you don't make their day, just make them smile. You know, give them something to smile about.